Hey everybody, it's Michael here from Replica Airguns with another field test shooting video for the Schofield, not the Schofield. Consensus was it's a silent K, that's the pronunciation, Schofield. Number 3, BB and pellet revolver, CO2 revolver. So right now I have steel BBs in here. We're gonna put 5 rounds through the chronograph at least. Well, we'll probably try and get at least 3 to 4 good ones. If they're all kind of inconsistent FPS ranges, we'll just go with that just to see what it shoots. They're going to switch it up, put some pellets in and see if the pellets shoot any different. I am using 6.9 grain RWS super hollow point pellets and about 5.1 grain steel BBs. The temperature in here is 23 degrees Celsius. Hey Google, what is 23 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
23 degrees Celsius is equal to 73.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
73.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So it gives you the temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. All right, so here we go. We're gonna just try and get some, at least 3 to 4 shots here. 376, again, this is steel BBs here. 371. 359, that's fine. You know, that's gonna give us a pretty good idea of what we're looking at here. So we're gonna put some pellets in, pellet versions. Yeah, we got shells everywhere. We'll average them all out afterwards on screen for you guys. Don't forget, I will be doing the accuracy test for both these steel BBs and pellets as well in just a sec here, 30 feet down range. And of course, check out my tabletop video if you haven't already for this pistol in the link in the description. All right, here we go. I guess I gotta cock it. Single action only. 364. 358. And 361. Okay, gonna put on safe. So they're pretty close. So lead pellets, heavier, yet for some reason they're going about the same speed. I'd say the averages are within 5 to 10 FPS. So, you know, why is that, you might ask? Maybe because the skirt of the pellet seals behind the CO2 a little bit better. That's what I said in the tabletop video. Sometimes pellets can actually perform better than steel BBs because the CO2 kind of can get around a steel BB if it's not tight in the barrel. Lead can be a little tighter in the barrel because it can shape to the barrel. A steel BB that's too big will just get stuck. A lead pellet will kind of conform to the barrel diameter a little bit and seal up kind of essentially and cause more CO2 to push it instead of get by it. Plus, in the steel BBs, the BB goes in the front, lead pellet goes in the back. So you do get another 1.5 inches or so of barrel length, pseudo barrel length. So the pellet's already moving at a certain, you know, velocity by the time it hits the barrel after it gets through the brass shell or the shell. It's actually gonna have a little bit of momentum already by the time it hits the barrel. So that might help as well. All right, let's set up a paper target. I'm gonna set up one target for steel BBs, put 6 rounds into the target, and then another target for the lead pellets and see if they shoot about the same. Now for the fun part, getting to see how accurate this gun is. Actually, get some shots lined up on this target, 30 feet down range, and see how it performs with BBs and pellets. So we're gonna put all 6 rounds, since it is a 6 shooter, into this target, and we'll just see how we do. I like the sights on there, they're fairly nice. Nice trigger too. Okay, I gotta pretty much reset every time here. One more. Just for good measure, in case there's 7 in here. Yeah, there's not 7 in here. But just in case I miscounted. Boosh, what do we do here? Well, they kind of got a little bit away on me. It looks like this one for sure. I don't know what happened there. I don't think I was aiming down there. Pretty sure I was aiming right here. But let's just, for whatever, maybe it was a weird BB, had something going on with the BB, it was misformed or something. 2 right beside each other there, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. We're gonna say 2.5 inches, okay? Not excellent, but okay. I'm gonna pull this target off just in case we want to take a look at it. Okay, we don't want to look back. Don't put any more holes in it. Okay, so we'll compare the two after I shoot the steel or the lead BBs, lead pellets that is. Okay, everything's still working on the camera. Let's unload this Put some fresh pellet shells in here. Okay, leave those there. That way they don't roll off. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that always happens. Now I gotta chase it around on the floor. At least I'm not shooting back at somebody, right? In some sort of a bind where I need to get loaded up real quick. Okay, here we go. Will they perform better? That's the question. They shot about the same velocity. I don't know. Shot number 6. Okay, let's shoot the magic shot. If I get another round in there, then something was going on. And there wasn't. Okay, just be safe. Put on safe. So again, we got, you know, these 4 were really nice and tight. This one, again, who knows what's going on. This one brought it out to about 2.5 inches, just like the steel BBs. But for some reason, it's almost identical. We had a really crazy straggler with the BB and the pellets. And we had a 2.5 inch group with both the BBs and the pellets. All were pretty well centered in general, except for the flyers. I'm gonna have to say though that the 4 rounds were tighter. So we had a nicer 4-round grouping versus with the steel BBs, they kind of spread out a bit more. Which one's better? I don't know. I mean, I would probably just shoot pellets in this revolver just because they're going a little faster. Well, they're not really going faster, but they're going to hit a little bit harder because they got more mass, they got more density, they weigh more. So they're going about the same speed, but they weigh more. So they're going to hit things a little bit harder with a little more thump. You know, if you're shooting cans, pop cans or whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't know if downrange further at say 40 feet or whatever, 50 feet, if the pellets will have an advantage. I don't know. Why did we get these crazy stragglers? I don't think there was anything wrong with any of the pellets. Pellets tend to be, you know, pretty good. They're pretty consistent. I looked at them too when I put them in. None of them seemed, you know, deformed or anything like that. Sometimes it's just like these guns when they're brand new. There's a little bit of, you know, stuff going on in the barrels, a little bit of machining material and stuff that you got to work out. But usually you blow that out of there after the first couple rounds or the first, you know, group of rounds. So that shouldn't really be the case, especially with the pellets. We shot quite a few rounds through it already. But that's the way it is. That is what it is. Okay, so nice gun. I like the weight of it. Watch the tabletop video. It is a really nice looking gun. It shoots well. Again, it doesn't have the rifled barrel, so maybe a rifled barrel version of a pellet shooter would do better. I'm pretty sure I've shot revolvers that have rifled barrels with these removable shells, and they have performed better, even in steel BB. So maybe we'll give another go one day and see if it does shoot better. But it's not bad. It's a nice gun. Check it out. Check the tabletop video. Check out all of our products over at replicairguns.ca for Canada and replicairguns.us for the US, where we have air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. And of course, check out the written reviews where I basically put a post for every video that I make. Tabletop videos, field test shooting videos like this one, I always make a written post or article there with additional photos that you can check out with all the information from this video. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.